I don't want to be too judgmental, but let it be, suffice to say at the start as I welcome Subramaniam Swamy and Smriti Irani on one side of the debate and Shakti Singh Goyal of the Congress and Sanjay Jha on the other. Suffice to say that both sides aren't completely correct. Therefore, by conclusion, both sides are partially or largely wrong. Smriti Irani, my first question to you tonight is, how did Modi get it so wrong? He says 20% of Chinese GDP is education. How did he get it so wrong? China spends 3.93%.
Since we are correcting a lot of...
No. One second. Answer this specific one. China spends 3.93%. Modi says 20%. I mean, you can be wrong by 5-10%. You can't be wrong by 600%.
Now may I?
Yes.
Since we are correcting a lot of facts on your show tonight, Arnab, and I've seen this recent advertising spew on Times Now about the fact that you're a man who believes that integrity is not an act. The first fact I would like corrected on your show tonight is a fact which was spewed by the Times of India group on the 23rd of June 2013, where you called Modi the Rambo who saved 15,000 people. Post which there were many a times when your platform was used by many anti-Modi, or for that matter those people who have made an industry out of bashing Modi, who belittled, badgered many a BJP spokespeople on your channel and other channels as well, through many editorials as well. Yesterday, Times of India printed a clarification as to how mortified they were by the controversy, and in effect issued an apology, which was somewhere hidden in the 9th or the 10th page. Now, as a man who really believes in integrity and who really believes that the truth should be told loudly, do you think the Times of India should have carried that apology on the front page?
Now, I'll tell you one thing. Smriti, first of all, I can see...
Answer to that?
No, 1 second. Smriti, you are making a very determined...
I'll answer your other question.
No, please, if you want to answer. You are making a very determined...
You know me, Arnab,
you are making a very determined and you are making a very determined, but unfortunately, I must say, shallow attempt to avoid my question. But since you've asked it, I want to ask you a counter question. I want to ask you a counter question. And my counter question to you, Smriti, is simply this. Are you telling me
you to speak the truth?
Smriti Irani.
Are you telling me my assumption that you're a man of integrity is a shallow thing to do?
I am saying, Smriti, if you allow me, because today I said right on top of Newshour. I said one thing on top of Newshour, Smriti. See, when you are challenged on fact, the response ought to be the response. No, the response. See, one second, Smriti, please, don't get all rhetorical, please. You asked a question. Now I want to ask you a counter question. I want to ask you whether in your information, Mr. Narendra Modi or his government or you personally, for once went out and said after that report, because I think Times of India has put out a clarification that is good, but I want to ask you why you or Mr. Modi or the entire BJP did not for once come out and say that report was wrong. You show me tonight on the Newshour tonight, you show me where Smriti Irani or Narendra Modi or anyone came out and said the report was wrong. Show me where Narendra Modi or the Gujarat government or Smriti Irani came out and said the report was wrong. Show me where you said the report was wrong. Show me where you said the report was wrong. Show me where you said. Where did the BJP say? Where did the BJP say the report was wrong?
Modi.
Did he say the report was wrong?
Singh is categorically stated on many a platform.
Mrs.
Nirmala Sitharaman has said it on North Channel.
I thought I heard.
Rated and badgered many of our spokespeople. I'm asking you to do the decent thing tonight, Arnab, and accept the truth. Answer one question.
And Miss...
Shouldn't that clarification have been carried on the front page?
So I am now
answering each of your questions.
Now, Smriti, your attempt to...
only request to you.
Miss Smriti Irani, are you going to get all worked up at my question on why you got wrong on the education figures? And would you kindly tell me... Would you kindly tell me now, is it true? Is it true or is it wrong?
let it be said, Arnab Goswami has not answered.
Miss Smriti Irani, are you going to get so hot under the collar on this one that you will not even answer a single question?
I'm not hot under the collar.
Are you going to get so much on the defensive, on the mistake, on the statistics on education that you're not going to answer any further questions? In that case, are you telling me, Miss Smriti Irani, Miss Irani, Miss Irani, now
I'm actually, Arnab, getting inspired by your style of questioning and asking you a question. So, if I was hot under the collar, I wouldn't greet you with a broad smile. Now,
very good. Now, here's a question to you. Did you or did Mr. Modi,
yes,
after that report came out, because as far as I know, the clarification has come from Times of India, did you or Mr. Modi ever come out and say that, no, we didn't rescue, we didn't do this rescue as it was claimed? Or was I hearing somebody else? Was I hearing some other people come out and say, we did so much that people are actually writing about it, but the others haven't? Was that used or not?
My response to this is simple. My national president, my media cell of my organization categorically stated that a controversy is being manufactured.
How many days after the that was after the Congress questioned the figures, not before. Till then you were happily taking the credit. But anyway, now that I've settled the fact. Now that I've settled the fact that you did not contradict, now Miss.
You have not settled the fact.
Okay, now here's the question for you. Here's a question for you.
That clarification has come on the front page or not, Arnab?
Now,
since integrity is not an act for you.
Well,
that's a simple question I posed to you.
Miss Smriti Irani, now let me tell you very clearly that you will have to answer me very straightforward. What is, in your view, was simple question. I hope, Miss Smriti Irani, now you don't dodge it, because if you do, then transparently, and if you interrupt my question even once, then I will feel that you are making a very transparent attempt to dodge the facts. If you want to dodge, if you want to run away from the debate, because you are weak on your facts, you can say so. I will say, Miss Irani, I will not ask you any facts.
I am not weak on my facts. You want to hear the facts.
You see, there are only two things possible, Miss Irani. Either you are weak on facts or you have the facts.
Let it be said at the beginning of this question-answer session that the beginning of this segment.
Miss Irani, people are watching. Don't embarrass yourself.
Yes.
Don't embarrass yourself, please.
I'm not embarrassing myself, Arnab. I understand you're embarrassed.
Now, Miss Irani, you see, I'll tell you.
And hence you're dodging the answer which I'm specifically seeking from you.
Miss Irani, you see this, I am not impressed with a fake display of aggression. So I would request you to try it elsewhere. However, I would like to ask you to now answer my question.
I'm not here to impress you,
What was Modi right or wrong?
Of things of my life.
Now here, Miss Irani, what's right? Miss Irani, Narendra Modi said, and answer my question. If you don't want to answer, tell me now. I will not answer. You answer my question, okay? Please, straightforward answer. Don't do any rhetoric or theatre on the news. The question is simply this.
Modi said
that China spends 20% of its GDP on education. How much does China spend on education?
Now, can I answer? Reminding your viewers that Arnab Goswami has not answered my specific question in the beginning of this segment.
Miss Irani, why don't you answer?
Lovely.
Please answer now.
Smiled. No, I'm answering.
Answer.
I'm answering, which it's a data available. China's expenditure on education, Arnab, has increased yearly by 20% and above. In fact, in support of my defense tonight, I can quote Mr. Shashi Tharoor, who has produced papers on social media to say, in fact, China's spend went beyond 24%.
Oh, Miss Irani. Miss Irani, you are so wrong. No,
let me explain.
Allow me to finish this answer. Allow me to finish this answer.
Smriti Irani, just a minute.
In comparison,
from
the
3,
Indian
1 minute,
Mr.
from
Jha,
3,
you're not of consequence right now. Let me
increase
finish.
Makes it
In
3.60.
comparison,
And 20% of GDP is something entirely different. I don't think Mr. Modi understands percentages. I think the Bhartiya Janata Party needs to start by some education within. I'm sorry, you got a problem of education within here.
In the financial years 2013-14, according to UNESCO, Indian government has spent only 3.33. These are facts you can go and check.
Miss Irani,
okay?
Miss Irani,
another fact on education.
Miss Irani, unless you want to indulge in verbal unilateralism on the program, which is not appreciated, You know, you can do one thing.
Your privilege,
you can get into verbal unilateralism. You can say I am right when I am wrong. But I want to tell you this, Miss Irani.
Or am I to
no, Miss Irani, you see, these are not subjects which can be, you know, played around with. You're either right or wrong, right? So there's no amount
I'm stating facts.
What did Modi say?
I'm stating facts.
What did Modi say?
This is Department
What
of
did Modi say? Did Modi say China spent 20%? Wow, come on, Miss Irani, please relax. Did Modi say?
China, I'm relaxed, Arnav. What are you getting so hyper-sensitive about issues? Mr. Modi is making a reference to how much China spends on education.
Yes. Now,
China spends yearly
Miss Irani, what are you saying? Miss Modi, Miss Irani, what are you saying? Miss Irani, what are you saying? How can you be on national television? How can you be so factually wrong? How can you be so factually wrong? Are you telling me the National Population Register advertisement has had such an impact on your channel, Arnav, that you not allow me to speak? Miss Irani, are you going to be so factually wrong and not allow yourself to be corrected? Can I tell you?
I am factually right.
Miss Irani, what are you doing on TV? Miss Irani, China spends 3.93% of their GDP on education, not 20%, as stated by Mr. Modi.
Mr. Goswami, listen very carefully to what I am saying. China spend on education yearly increase of 20% and above has been
Did Modi talk about increase or percentage of GDP?
I'll give you.
Did Modi talk about increase or percentage of GDP?
I will show you the data. You can come to an assessment on your own.
Did Modi speak about increase or percentage of GDP?
Do you also want to talk about how spending on education has impacted education? Do you want that data also in comparison to Government of India and Government of Gujarat? Let me give you a very small example. From class 1 to class 5, Arnav, in the state of Gujarat, the dropout rate for boys and girls is around 2%. According to the HRD Ministry of Government of India, the dropout rate between class 1 and 5 for boys and girls in our country nationally under the leadership of the Congress government is 27%. In tribal boys and girls, the dropout rate under the leadership of the Congress government is 55%.
You are all making mistakes on facts.
Procured from the HRD.
You are all making mistakes on facts. No. 1 second. All of you are making mistakes on facts. No. That's one second. Miss Irani, relax. Miss Irani, 1 second. Miss Irani.
I'm relaxed. I don't know. What are you getting so hyper for?
So question is this. That why are all sides making mistakes on facts repeatedly? Because even Ajay Maken comes out and says, and he says certain things that Gujarat has not spent on education, it ranks 14. Dropout rates in Gujarat are 57%, he says. I looked at the facts and I find even Mr. Ajay Maken has made mistakes. Everybody is making mistake in their rush to put out facts, but I don't think that a misrepresentation of facts can be allowed. And I don't think a response to the misrepresentation of the facts can be rhetoric in the first place. Because the problem with Mr. Maken's statement is that he is depending on 2008-2009 data. Why is he doing that?
Let me tell you.
Why is he doing that?
There are 2 points, Adam.
Why is everybody getting their facts so horribly wrong?
No, I think
and mixed up.
First and foremost.
And then defensive about it.
No, why are we, we have started this debate today based on statements made by Mr. Narendra Modi in Pune in a college where I studied in. So for me, a lot of personal stake being a Ferguson College student. He is, by the likes of BJP from what I hear, their prime ministerial candidate. Now you expect a certain degree of responsibility. You go on a debate where you're talking to college students or whoever, and you give misleading data, you distort data to 20%, and he did that deliberately because he wanted to tell in an educational institution, and he was making a political point by using fudged statistics to say that this government is doing nothing for you. What has been quoted by Mr. Shashi Tharoor and Mr. Ajay Maken are facts which are available from the Chinese official agency. Now 20% growth on 3% cannot be compared with 20% of the GDP itself. So I think Smriti Irani, I think that's a ridiculous and an absurd proposition. But since she started by asking you some question, I believe there's one question that I've been asking her 3 times on times now, and she has not responded. Smriti Irani, I want to get on to the debate, but I want to ask you this fundamental question. Did you or did you not in 2004 say that Narendra Modi is responsible for the riots of 2002, and if he doesn't resign, if it doesn't fast, I will fast unto death. Did you or did you not say that? Yes or no?
You're factually wrong. You see, every time you come on Times Now,
No, you haven't answered that question.
People of this country,
Smriti,
the limits of your intellect.
I can tell you, this is
so let's again get down to the...
You are right now, can I tell you? Your Mr. Narendra Modi
I know what is available. Since it's available, verbatim people of this country will go and check.
In the same DNA. Now listen, this is available. I will put it up. It's up on my website. Please go and visit it.
I congratulate your desire.
Are you denying this on national television? Why don't you answer the question?